Oh, there he is. There's that special guy. Your video went off again.
Ooh. Mother.
Remember when your dog used to do that? Oh,
Chev?
Chev, yeah. Oh,
Just like having
the best part. Remember when you had that dog? We used to
Yes.
have when we first lived together
Chev?
after college. Was that your dog always?
Yes. We got him. Let's see. I got when you and I had him. We were what 22 years old. So I probably had him for about 9 years at that point.
Okay. So then your parents were like, "Hey, you're moving out. You should take your dog with
Take
you."
this stupid dog with you.
And then the best part was
him.
you tried to take care of it, and then you're like, "Yeah, I'm single. It's too much," and you gave it to somebody. I remember. And then at one point you visited, and he just
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
He was so much like happier.
He had the best life. Remember, the lady used to take him out on her sailboat.
Boating. Yeah. If you'd only loved boating then.
I know. Yeah, of course. It has to come back to that.
Yeah, just remember there's like, you said he had like a little ascot on and he was in the boat.
It was so funny.
Hair flowing. I don't even think he pretended that you weren't even there. We went to church today and the pastor got a new dog. And my kids are like, "Hey, can we get a dog?" So then I used it all day because I'd be like, "Brennan, you got to do this." I don't want to. I'm like, "That's why you don't have a dog." So it was like all day I could just use it against him. Hey, Brennan, why don't you pick this stuff up? I don't want to do it. No, that's why you don't have a dog.
Are you considering getting him a dog?
No. It's a lot of work, man. I got 3 kids. I don't need any more. And that's why I'm sort of kidding them, but I'm kind of serious. If they were more responsible, then
you would want one.
Then they could have a dog that they took care of.
Well, yeah, but you have to want it too, don't you?
Yeah, I'd be fine as long as one of the kids. You
don't seem like a pet person to me.
One of the kids has allergies and.
Oh yeah, to animals or just allergies in general?
Dogs.
Oh well, there's your excuse right there.
Yeah, but I think it's Brennan actually. It's either Brennan or Emma. One has cats and one has dogs.
You don't know that.
I don't know which one is which. It doesn't really matter because it's not like I'm like, "Hey, we're on this dog outing and
only one child can come anyway. So
I have to
pick the right one.
Which one can come?
It's like the one where the thing has to cross the river and take one with him and stuff.
Yes. Or if I go to we go to that cat shelter that you're gonna work at, and I'm like, which kid can come to the cat shelter?
I went down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I walked in, she was like, "So are you here to volunteer, or did the police tell you had to come here?" Or she didn't phrase it like that, but like,
is this mandated by someone else?
And I was like, no. And so I made a joke.
You need to sign a form for him.
Yeah. So I made a joke about it, and then I realized there was somebody sweeping the floors behind me, and I was like, "Oh, definitely here because she stabbed a guy or something."
So you're not making any friends with the.
Not yet.
Other volunteer.
No, there was 2 kind of weird older dudes there volunteering, and they liked me. I think I'm gonna
What are you in for?
I'm gonna have weirder friends.
You have to make up something. Are they gonna think you're weird because you're just there because you want to be?
I don't know. I thought about that, dude. I thought of all this stuff when I was walking in. I'm like, how strange of a situation am I walking into right now? Like, I feel like this is the type of thing that could end up in a cult or something like that.
Interesting.
It starts small. Like Jim Jones didn't immediately have 2,000 followers.
We didn't get any emails this week at all.
We have but you told me we have Russian listeners, right? And we have Canadian listeners.
We had one download from Russia. That might have been like they were trying to do something with the Ukraine and they hit the wrong button. Downloaded one of our episodes, didn't stick. But Canada, it seems like we got a couple Canadian listeners or people that are at least downloading it.
I wish could they write in?
I think people from Canada are allowed to send emails to people from the United States. So
why can't they just send us one?
They could.
I want to hear how you found out about the Mag Room in Canada. I don't think I have any Canadian friends, do I?
I don't know. We'll find out. So send it in. Send it in, Canada. I want to start a new series. It's gonna be really short. It's and you can try to find one every week. I'm gonna call it the coolest man alive or coolest person alive. Coolest person alive series. And this is John Daly.
The golfer?
He was in a golf tournament This was the final tally of literally everything he put into his body over a full 18 holes. So do you want to guess what some of the things are and not things are
Is
not?
is it stuff that like you get from cart girls and all that? Like, was he just eating like the food that the golf course
It
provided?
seems
Or did
like
he
it.
bring his own?
Seems
Okay.
like it. He might have brought some of this though.
Hot dogs. I'd say there's at least like 6
So
hot dogs.
that was not on the list.
Oh, how did I miss that? All right.
What do you think he?
Bags of
what do you
potato
think
chips. Lots of bags of potato chips.
No, he ate a candy item.
Oh, M&Ms.
6 packs of peanut M&Ms.
Yeah, I know.
What do you think he drank?
Oh, he might not be an alcoholic anymore.
Yeah, no, it was
fruit
not
punch. Hawaiian punch.
12 Diet Cokes. And how many cigarettes did he smoke?
28.
21.
Wow.
And how many ounces of water did he drink?
0.
0 water. 21 cigarettes, 12 Diet Cokes, and 6 packs of peanut M&Ms.
Can you imagine what your mouth would feel like after that day?
For an 18
so
holes.
gross.
18 holes. So what's 18 holes take you? 4 hours?
I'd say, yeah, somewhere around there.
Oh. Coolest person.
Wait, how many Diet Cokes?
12.
12 Diet Cokes and 4 say hours, so 3 an hour, 1 every 20 minutes. Holy
Had like a pack of peanut M&Ms and a half every hour.
Oh my god.
And he had like 6 cigarettes an hour while he was playing golf.
I was wondering if there's a picture of him. Does he look like
There is a
like
picture
really
of
fat?
Decently.
Bigger than
Got
he
some
was.
crazy like skull pants on.
Oh yeah, he's got a line of golf wear now.
He has a line of
Loudmouth.
golf wear?
I think it's called Loudmouth. And yeah, it's all golf pants, but they have crazy prints on them, like whatever it is that you're looking
Yeah,
at.
skulls. You think he's at the point where if he stopped doing these things, he then would get sick? Like his body is in that like
Would reject health.
Mr. Burns perfect preservative / whatever
Like Keith
he's
Richards
doing.
or something, you know?
Yeah, like Keith Richards, if he ever tried to get healthy, would just not go well. All right, so coolest person alive.
John Daly. So what do you?
tried-
What's the cool part? Just that he can ingest so much
that he
shit.
can do that and still play.
Okay.
Like, I'm sure he did all right. Again, I should have looked up how he did. And then the next artist, this is the PGA Championships. This is legit. It said John Daly heads to Hooters and Casino after PGA first round.
Yeah, I mean that's why everybody liked him. I mean, he sort of came up when we were kids, like late teens probably, and he had a huge following. He's one of those guys that sort of made it sort of cool to golf, you know.
Obviously, the diet and cigarettes probably.
There's no way that he couldn't have been taking that seriously.
He slipped down the board during his back nine. Yeah,
because he got insulin levels were through the fucking like a hummingbird or something.
But that's like, I mean, it's better for him if he's not going to win. You got to keep your personality up, right?
I mean, that is him, you know. Like that's
yeah. Like if he showed up all healthy and then made the first round, no one would care. I'm sure there is that guy. I'm sure like VJ Singh was there and didn't make the cut, and there's no articles about him.
Look at you pulling a cool golf name out.
Nice. I've been at my father-in-law's a lot of times and my uncles when they've been watching golf.
I think VJ Singh is a scratch golfer, lefty and righty.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should give me one of them.
Well, I think what's cool about that is that you just don't see guys like that. And the athletes aren't like that anymore. You know, there's no more Mickey Mantles. There's no more John Daly's. It's just everybody's in the public eye and everybody's trying to promote their brand and stuff. And you don't have guys that are just themselves and with all their flaws.
I mean, they have better careers.
I think that's a big part of liking sports is like the personalities behind them, you know, and I just don't think there's personalities anymore. To me, anyway, you know, maybe I'm just getting old.
Well, that's why they still talk about the 86 Mets and a lot of these other teams. They don't. I mean, the Mets, if they had been better, they didn't do that as much. They might have won more. They were like pretty good. They only won that one season, but they had the personality of just being batshit crazy.
I mean, when it's all said and done, would you rather be kind of remembered for that or kind of forgotten almost? You know,
for me personally,
wouldn't it be more fun to be remembered as like an interesting character who was really good at baseball rather than just some robotic guy that's
so you're saying I have a talent though that's like I don't think I can do that like teaching.
Sure, I bet there's a teaching equivalent of it.
Where I'm just crazy.
They make
I'm
a
coming
movie
in
about
every
him.
day,
What's his name?
ripping cigarettes and Diet Cokes in class.
Well, I guess I didn't necessarily mean your personality had to be an over the top sort of addiction thing, but just something where you have personality. I mean, I guess that is what it happens to be with.
Yeah, those. I mean, all the athlete ones are like. I think there's a middle ground, right? You could be less robotic and let yourself shine out. And I'd rather do that. Not that goes back to our article from last week where people hide their personalities at work. Yeah. I mean, it's sad because you have to like put on this facade, and John Daly doesn't. All right, so coolest person.
We might need a theme song then, right?
Oh boy,
coolest
person alive. Song? It could be too. What's the greatest American hero song? Could it be to
Look at what happened to me?
No, but we need new lyrics.
Right.
I'm the coolest person alive. Believe it or not, I'm cooler than you. I'm the coolest person alive. I ate 12 Diet Cokes at M&M's, and I still.
But no hot dogs.
I still can walk home. I'm still alive, even though I have no nutrition. Stories. This was from Axios, which is a news organization that I enjoy. It was called Underused Words for Your Repertoire. So it said some 75% of our daily speaking comes from just 800 words. BBC estimates. Do you believe that? I can't even speak.
Yeah, you're already.
The 800 that I use. So
$7.99 right there.
Like, get that one out. Do you believe that though?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So this article picked some fun ones worth elevating. I'm going to read you the words and you're going to try to guess what they mean.
Yes.
First one, apricity.
Apricity. APRICITY.
Yeah, nice. You got the spelling bee right.
Something having to do with like happiness.
Okay, it is a good thing.
No, it's about as much as I can guess.
I went outside this winter and I enjoyed the apricity. It's not right, the right tense, but it's the warmth of the sun in the winter. All right, here's another one. This is you actually. Protein. PROTEAN. So this is a hard one because I
think you say protein. I think you pronounce it
okay.
Differently. And I know I've seen it before, but I can't.
Like you are a protein.
Sort of like in your
personality, your podcast repertoire.
In my podcast repertoire. I thought it had something to do with like appearance. I thought it had to do with like
no.
Okay.
Well, it could. I guess it could. So it means displaying great diversity or variety.
Oh.
So like an actor
like
who can do both comedy and tragedy. Doyen. DOYEN. Oh, so this could be us as well. You are a Doyen podcaster. Or you're a Doyen male.
Handsome?
A person considered to be uniquely skilled and experienced in a certain field.
Doyen. DOYEN?
Yep, okay.
All right.
Ooh, this is a really nice one. The word I don't like the word, but I really like what it means. Petrichor. 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 Petrichor.
Petri meaning the dish that you find like diseases in, and then chore meaning something that you have to do to make your mother happy. So I'll say it means cleaning, something having to do with cleaning microscopes. Am I wrong?
The pleasant smell of the earth after a rainstorm following a long dry period.
It's not a real word.
It's very specific.
Yeah, it's like French people.
Like
French
if you threw that out and
words.
Somebody knew what that meant,
it would never ever happen.
No, they'd be like, wow, that does fit. But you'd have to think about it. Mm-hmm. Either they'd argue with you and be like, was it really a long dry period? I think it was kind of
you get into I'm not getting into a semantic argument about this. It was a
Petrichor argument. All right. This one it says it sounds like what it means. Susurrus.
Like a spirit that envelops you from I don't know, the way you Susurrus. Yeah, something dreamlike, something that overtakes you in your dreams and and fills you with
It's how we want to do our NPR shows.
oh, just soothing.
Susurrus. A whispering or rustling sound. Susurrus. And then the last one, which also sometimes I feel like you're acting like when we're doing this, is asshat.
It's not a word.
It actually, so the other article I found from Merriam-Webster Dictionary was about the addition of asshat to the dictionary. Enter words after they've been demonstrated a certain breadth and consistency of use, typically in printed form. A fine example of the kind of word that merits inclusion is asshat, a stupid, annoying, or detestable person, a word recently added to our dictionary. It occupies the space between azez and asshead.
What's an asshead?
So they have some quotes. In case of pronoun usage, it really comes down to, are you being a nice person or an asshat? Where do you think the asshead, when that came from?
1992.
1541. Listen to this sentence. I'm not even going to be able to read it correctly.
Wow.
From Thomas Beacon. They think it's 100th year if he preacheth but half an hour. So little pleasure have these assheads in hearing the glorious and blessed word of God. It's from an actual article where they call them assheads. It's like he's talking about his sermon. Yeah. They said you have to be, the last thing I'll read with is like, you have to be careful with your hyphen and spacing, because you could say sweet hyphen ass space hat. So a sweet ass hat, like the hat you have on now.
Sure, punctuation.
Lenny sea salt or whatever it is. Or if you did sweet space ass hat, that's a little different. That you're a sweet ass hat. I know you own some sweet ass hats.
Sweet space hats. Right.
I thought that was fun.
Would you like to hear some Canadian words?
Yeah, I know you said three? You had, and I was like, this will tie in great. So you had an article as well. Great.
Just little like Canadian slang. I thought we could pepper into
for our Canadian listeners.
However many we got, yeah. So,
I like
write us and tell us if we're using these properly.
Oh no.
The word toque. T-O.
Oh yeah, that's
Q-U-E.
That's like an instrument, right?
No.
Like you play a toque, or no, it's a hat.
Yes, it's a hat.
So you're a toque cat, an ass toque.
Toque. Right, exactly.
All right,
yeah. Right.
In Canada, is that what they do?
Yeah.
Instead of ass hat, you're an ass toque.
Derived from Arabic, it found its way into medieval French in 15th century. It refers to a cap with a small brim or no brim. It's usually worn when it's cold, so pretty much year-round in Canada! !
Yeah, and that's even better for like ass hats, like more specific.
Ass toque.
Like how would be a different, like a general ass hat versus ass toque, because you have like a small brim.
Your friend Pierre is an ass toque. Like Peter is an ass hat, but Pierre is an ass toque.
So you're acting kind of French, but you're also an ass.
Yeah.
And you don't have. Do you have a sweet ass toque? Do you have any?
No, I've got zero ass toques. No toques. I have no toques whatsoever.
Yeah. You need to get one. Maybe we'll figure. Maybe our Canadian listeners can tell us where to get one.
Or send us one. We'll send you we'll do toque for t-shirts.
Wow.
Trades. How about just the letter Z? You know what they call the letter Z in Canada?
Z.
Canadian pronunciation for the letter Z. Z is acceptable as well, but if you want to sound like a Canadian, go for Z.
I like Z.
So if we ever get on like Z 106.9, we'll have to do Z. Z 106.9 coming at you.
when we get hired as drive guys. I see.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
How about a keener? Do you know what a keener is?
Ooh, a keener.
It's a word that refers to someone who tries hard to please others while being overly enthusiastic, like a nerd, brown-noser, or geek.
Okay. I like keeners.
You like brown-nosers?
We don't have enough of them. Well, it says try to please people.
How about giver? Give apostrophe er. So it kind of looks like give her, like giver.
Somebody who's really good at giving back rubs.
It's a slang term that means to give it all you've got when all else fails. It's used when referring to work, drinking, sports, and any other activity that requires you to buckle down and get it done.
Like use it in a sentence.
I'm feeling under the weather today. Just give her. And then that guy shotguns a beer. That's the example that I gave. But like, all right, so you call me up. You're like, man, the kids haven't gone to bed yet. It's going to be 9 o'clock before I get out of here, blah, blah, blah. And I say, just give her, Jared.
So that means I got to just give the best I can.
And we do the best 17th episode podcast ever. You probably know what a kerfuffle is, right?
Yeah, it's a fight.
Yeah, commotion, flurry of agitation, yeah.
Yeah. I've been in many kerfuffles. In my day.
Kerfuffle. How about beauty? Just saying beauty.
Really nice, great. Like, it's a beauty.
Something. Yeah, I like that one.
That's a beauty.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. An expression used to refer to something that was done well or an exceptionally great person. The last one I highlighted was Chesterfield. Do you know what a Chesterfield is? This is a good one.
Isn't it a gun?
No, it used to be a cigarette, but in Canada, it's a couch or a sofa, a term usually used by the older crowd. Like after this podcast, I don't know what you're up to. Maybe you're going to go relax, kick your shoes off, put your feet up on the Chesterfield and relax for 15 minutes maybe.
I thought the Chesterfield was the couch.
Yeah.
Oh, put my feet on my couch. Sisk story. You might have known this because part of this was from Baltimore. It's not hard in Maryland to find this from the Washington Post.
Drugs.
To find the blue and yellow packaging of Old Bay seasoning.
Oh, yeah.
It's on grocery store shelves and served on restaurants. It's printed on T-shirts, masks, mugs, hats, dog leashes. The spice is sprinkled by diehards on pizza, chicken, popcorn, hot chocolate. It's infused into products like Old Bay hot sauce and Old Bay flavored vodka. So last week, the brand introduced its latest edition, Old Bay Goldfish, which sounds interesting. I don't know about some of the other ones. Sound terrible. So this is the guy. Talks a little bit about the guy who invented it. I just thought it was interesting. So Gustav Brunn, born in 1893, had been a successful spice merchant in Wertheim, Germany, where he specialized in sausage spices before the Nazis came to power. So in the 1930s, he fled to the United States. Yeah, I don't know why. That was really
just took a weird turn.
Yeah, another Jared bringing another funny Nazi story.
To all of our Israeli listeners out there, I'm not laughing at the Nazis.
His family fled to the United States. So he struggled to find work in Baltimore. He decided to start his own spice business. So first he sold individual ingredients, and then he saw fish market vendors were using their own spices. He thought he could make a better one. But the law required his father to publish the ingredients of his seasoning, which seemed so to make his recipe look more complex, he decided to add very small amounts of ingredients that you would think had nothing to do with steaming crabs. Ralph Brunn, this is his son, said, such as cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves. Lo and behold, a very unusual thing happened. They gave a wonderful overtone to the main ingredients that were there, and they're the ones that created the flavor Old Bay. It got really successful. He sold it to
McCormick's, yeah.
So yeah, all from guy who fled Germany with nothing. Get a job and just invent. It's like just a really nice bootstrap story. And
I think that's my coolest guy story. My coolest man.
This guy right now, Gustav Brunn. Yeah, I just thought it was neat. It's not really much funny from it, but
no, that place is huge. McCormick, they're real big, man.
Just that idea of somebody. I mean, again, this idea of when we complain that life is hard. I mean, some people's lives are hard, but ours are not.
Like mine. But
like our lives are hard, but most people are not. So
no,
just be thankful for what you have. The last Sisk story is one you sent me. It was a very dense article, but it was about human composting.
This is more just because I felt like I came off like a psychopath last week. Like I didn't.
My dad wrote me.
I got more than one response to this, and it was always like, "You really want to eat?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to eat human flesh." I'm just saying, if somebody invited me to that type of thing, I'm not saying.
So you sent me an article. So this is about people dying and composting themselves into soil.
I thought I would just give some alternatives.
1 cubic yard of sod. And you wrote on here, you wanted me to read this. So if someone's going to die, they could send you their soil.
No, I didn't
use it.
All I did
and get close to tasting.
All I did was send him the article. I didn't put all that subtext on there.
You're like, hey, Jared, maybe this is a way for me to feed my human flesh taste.
Jared, I'm going to take this podcast into a very strange place. I've gotten the taste of flesh, and I needed it more. I need it every week, Jared. So
this is a legal way for me to do it.
How can I get people to send me their flesh?
Listeners are close to dying. Please compost your flesh and mail it to Mark so he can plant a garden in his yard and grow things in your soil. There's really, I can read the details, but it's actually like a lawyer article. It seems like about the laws and whatnot. After you die, your body will be laid into the vessel onto a bed of wood chips. alfalfa and straw. Over the next 30 days, everything inside the vessel breaks down thanks to natural decomposition. The soil is removed and placed into a curing bin where it is aerated for several more weeks. Then it can be donated for conservation efforts or given back to the person of your choosing, like Mark Einlaw, Jupiter, Florida.
33478.
Says it costs $5,500. So you got texts about that?
I did, yeah, just a few things that were kind of like, I would never eat, just very much taking the opposition side. Whereas I was trying to say, like, I'm not saying I want to eat it. I'm just saying I'd be a sport if I went to a party and someone was like, hey, guess what I did?
So basically you're saying you would do anything at a party. Like, you're not going to do it at your house. You're not going to hold a human flesh meatball eating party. But if you show up, if you want somebody to do something crazy at your party, ask for Mark to come.
I don't know that this is entirely true.
That is exactly what you just said.
That would be the craziest thing to do, is to eat a human meatball. I mean, when I put it like that, I guess I get where you're coming from. But it's an art. Sure it's an art exhibit. I got invited to this, and there's going to be other people and doing the same thing. It's like, hey, let's all share the experience of tasting human flesh. I gotta stop talking. I guess I can't dig myself out of this hole.
I don't think the argument should be, is there anything that you could describe that's crazier than the thing you're describing?
Kill like a murderer, or I mean,
yes, I agree. There are crazier things than eating a human flesh meatball, but
that's up there.
That is on the list.
All right,
you have to know the source of the meatball. Like, it's like, hey,
if this same thing
nobody
happened,
died in the producing of these meatballs, or
that would be part of it.
So you need some documentation.
I don't know what that means, but I
like
just mean
something that says that this
like
guy
if we were
isn't
just
harvesting humans and selling their meatballs.
If we just they're meatballs,
selling them as meatballs.
What I'm saying is, if I went to if I was camping out and some guy was like, "Hey man, I brought human flesh to eat," I wouldn't be into that. But this guy went into
a more highfalutin party.
We're like, all right, we're doing this as like an experiment. I feel like this is almost like an experiment. As much as it's art, it's an experiment in my mind. And so I'll take part in that experiment. That's how people
do these things.
And I assume I'm not eating. The guy's not gonna be like, "Look, you gotta eat even more than." I just want to taste it. I just wonder what it tastes like.
Are you doing it with sauce or no sauce? Because you want to taste it. The sauce would taste like the sauce.
I guess I would hope that he'd sort of be like, I've kept a couple of meatballs aside with no sauce on it. Look, we'll do it the normal way for the dinner part, so it looks like a real dinner. But if you want to taste just regular old human meatballs with no sauce on them, I've got a couple set aside that you can pick at. I would be into that, maybe. I feel like I'm overselling it because you're kind of making me talk about it right now. And that was the other thing. The name of the episode was Mark Loves Human Flesh. I'm like, no. Couldn't you have made it Mark
kind of would curious? Try it at a party, human
there
flesh.
You go. Mark is somewhat curious about the taste of human flesh. I feel like that would have more accurately represented what went on in that discussion.
That was your main All right. So what I don't even know what you can follow up that with.
Well, I rather than eat, lest you think I'm a cannibal and I want to eat all the dead bodies I see or something, I thought I'd print up some stuff with alternatives to eating human bodies.
Oh, there's alternatives. That's good.
Luke Perry, his daughter came out. Luke Perry was buried in a mushroom suit, which could become a trend.
A mushroom suit?
Yeah, this was published from Market Watch. Nicole
like
Lynn
a
Pesci.
Suit made of mushrooms.
Correct. Traditional funeral services, such as embalming and cremation, contribute to our carbon footprints even after our deaths. So a growing number of environmentally conscious people are looking into sustainable alternatives for laying themselves or loved ones to rest.
Isn't the most sustainable one you just put the body in the ground?
In the ground and just, no casket or anything, right?
Why do you have to get it? I mean, they have the biodegradable casket. So if you need like a box, like cardboard, people said cardboard.
Yeah.
That seems pretty low.
Yeah, I would
carbon
think so.
Footprint. So what's this like? It seems like a lot of work to make up a mushroom suit.
Well, if you look at a picture of it,
it's like it's just like a huge mushroom.
No, it's like a black. It looks like a ninja suit with. Do you know what? Have you ever seen what the mushrooms look like underground, like the mycelium, they're all
Ooh, look at you.
squiggly lines and stuff.
No, but I'll take your word for it.
It's a black ninja suit with white squiggly lines all over it.
So they're just draping him in mushrooms.
We can either buy the suit, or it also says you can also get a shroud where you feel more Jesus-like in your death, I suppose.
Because Jesus wore mushrooms.
Well, no, he wore shrouds.
Oh.
The suits are like $1,500 versus a normal wedding, a normal
Freudian slip of your the funeral, funeral.
Yeah, the death of your dreams and hopes. Body costs between $8,000 and $10,000. And it's wicked cool looking. I would just wear it around.
All right.
As of yet, I still have never eaten human flesh. I have no plans to.
There's an update.
Still no cannibalism.
Not eating human flesh.
Still don't really have any strong desire to either. Just a very vague curiosity.
Just willing to do things at a cocktail party. I would have to be wearing a suit. That would be I'm not going to a campsite with some weird old guy. But if I'm wearing a suit or something dressy,
yes,
and there's some cocktails and those are served, I would try it.
I'm like a bougie cannibal. I'm just gonna eat some dude that's laying on the side of the road, but
he's like eyes wide shut. I assume you have another one too.
Well, I had a couple things. I don't know why I'm leaning into this. I'm just keep talking about dead bodies now. I guess I should have shut up like 20 minutes ago. But there's a lake. Lake Mead murder mystery: bodies found due to low water levels by Ashley Soriano. So there's a murder mystery at Lake Mead. The decades-long drought at America's biggest reservoir has dropped water levels so low that bodies are popping up. Lake Mead is behind the Hoover Dam and about 40 miles from the Las Vegas Strip. As the lake dries up, it could crack some very cold cases. They're saying a lot of mob bodies were dumped there. Now the drought's dropping the body levels. So if you don't want to eat human bodies, you could drop them in lake. You could drop them in a lake.
I see.
Rather than eating them.
So this is kind of the.
I'm just saying smarter alternatives to eating. More. This
is like the more you know segment of our podcast.
If you come upon a dead body. You don't have to eat. You don't have to eat it. You can do this. You can put it in a mushroom suit.
Is this mandated by somebody from last week? You got a couple emails from the local authorities. They're like, if you could use your podcast and give people some other options.
Hey, is this Mark McGroom? This is Chuck with Solid Waste Authority. I just wanted to. I realized you said last week that you wanted to start eating dead bodies. No, Chuck, I didn't say that at all. Like everybody else, is totally misinterpreting what I'm saying.
If you could give people a few other options, we think we'd be able to let you off the hook.
All right, Chuck.
If you serve 30 hours at a cat shelter.
Ma'am, I'm going to go back. I will have to check that box that says I was mandated to come here. I was lying to you at first.
I wanted to eat human flesh.
He's like...
Is that okay?
You're not gonna eat these cats, are you? Like, no.
I only have
desire to eat a cat. I love cats.
I mean, if there was a party with cat meatballs, I might do it, but should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
I didn't even intro the show, I don't think.
Oh yeah.
The whole time.
We'll do it now. We'll just leave it in at the end and do the
Sunday afternoon in the mag room,
and then we'll do the opening thing and
go out.
Yeah.
Mark and Jared and Mark here on Sunday. Recording a little later. Theme song by Maggie Yellocks, Muga and Cisco at gmail.com. Send us some emails.
Yeah,
we want to hear from our Canadian listeners about
seriously
stuff that's going on.
I want to tell us how you found us. I'm curious as to how we found a Canadian. Yeah. No, but seriously, write in and tell us how you found us. I'm just curious.
It would be cool if people just wrote in general about what they liked about the podcast, and if they have some ideas for coolest person alive, what would define the coolest person, and if they have any ideas of who that is, describe it, send a link. We got to wrap this up or soon we're going to be ass 2Ks. All right, so stick with the mag room, and everything else is human meatballs.
It's a keener.
It's a keener.
Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good. Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good. My groom's good. Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good.
I don't know what 8 inches looks like.